Do I have this? Do some of the people that watch my channel have this disorder?
I don't want to die anytime soon. Gotta do something about this. I did something. I finally did something. Now I think I'm gonna live.
Wake up! Today I'm gonna be talking about orthorexia. It's a new word I heard today. I was watching on YouTube earlier. The carb addiction doctor was talking about this, and I was like, I've never heard of this term. I've heard of an orthopedic surgeon. I've heard of anorexia. And so I just Googled in, the word, and it came up. I found this on the nationaleatingdisorder.org. And it's saying it's not formally recognized in the diagnostic of statistical manual, so it's not formally a disorder. But awareness about it is on the rise. The term was coined in 1997, and it means obsession with proper or healthful eating. Although being aware of and concerned with the nutritional quality of your food isn't a problem in of itself, but with orthorexia, people become so fixated on so-called healthy eating that they actually damage their own well-being and experience health consequences such as a malnutrition and or impairment of psychosocial functioning. Okay, let's look at some of the signs and symptoms of orthorexia. Do I have this? Do some of the people that watch my channel have this disorder? Are some of the things that we think about food or the ways we think about food damaging physically, mentally? Let's read down here. It says, what are the signs and symptoms of orthorexia? Compulsive checking of ingredient lists and nutritional labels. Well, not only do I do that, I recommend that you do that too. Look at the labels of your food. Look at what you are eating. Look at what you are consuming. To me, that is just good stewardship of God's temple to a certain degree. I know we're all gonna die, we're all headed to the grave, but you should read the labels. You should get used to reading the labels. You shouldn't just watch what Snack, Crackle, and Pop do and follow their recommendations blindly. So that one, it could become obsessive compulsive in it and just be damaging for some people. Well, if it is, stop. But just read it and then put it down when it's not a real food. Goodbye. Easy. An increase in concern about the health of ingredients, and that's in the same vein. You should be concerned about the health of ingredients. But here's the problem. What ingredients are healthy? Because we live in a world that would say eating salad is healthier than eating a steak. But there's little to no nutrition in salad, and steak is chock full of nutrition. So what's healthier? Starving or being satiated and nourished? You need to know what good healthy ingredients are, but not get bamboozled about what health gurus tell you. Well, this is what you do. You have to be plant-based only. You have to be meat-based only. Be careful. You need to be in charge, and you need to watch these things. What's this next one? It says cutting out an increasing number of food groups. Like all sugar. Yes, all sugar. All carbs. Okay, all carbs. All dairy. All meat. All animal products. I'm looking at this list and I was just like, oh man. Do I have a problem? Do you have a problem? I do not consume sugar. I do not consume carbs. Okay. I do not eat the dairy. I will not suck on the teat of a bovine animal. I mean, there's a lot to unpack there. I think it's good. Again, to pay attention to what kind of food you're eating. It's nearly impossible to get rid of all sugars in your diet. I believe that or carbs. There's minute amounts of sugars and carbs in like eggs and like things, but it's like very small amounts, but way more protein and fat and stuff like that. So you can get in trouble. Like I don't eat eggs. Why? Because one large egg has 0.06 carbohydrates in it, and I don't eat carbs. See, it can become a problem. But I think it's also a problem when we don't look at anything, we don't consider it. And yes, cut out sugars. Okay, well, I want some sugar. Okay, well, maybe what about natural sugars? And then what's a natural sugar? Well, maybe do some research, right? Do some research, like just how I Googled this, just type it in, what's a natural sugar? And then decide if that's good for you or not. If that's gonna keep you from your goals in life, where you're going. I mean, if you have type 2 diabetes, like, I'd be very hesitant to be consuming sugars, and yeah, there's some tough decisions to make there. Unusual interest in the health of what others are eating. Now, that's an interesting one. Unusual interest in the health of what others are eating. I kind of don't care what other people are eating most of the time. That other time, I'm like, you see someone pounding down like 2 liters of pop and then huffing and puffing and complaining that they feel like crap all the time. It's kind of hard not to judge. It's like, I don't want to be the judge. I don't want to be critical, but something that happened today in my life. I was walking to go pick up a car that I lent somebody. I'm like, yeah, it's a couple miles away. I'll just walk over there and go get it. And as I'm walking, just putting in some steps, 22,222 today, I saw someone that was greatly overweight wrestling themselves down a short flight of stairs just to try to get in their car. And I was looking at them and I was like, man, that sucks. And I wasn't judging them, like, I don't know them. I don't know anything about their lives. I don't know. But I wished better for them. That's okay. So I don't think I have an unusual interest in the health of what others are eating, typically. Maybe sometimes when I'm cranky. A feeling of superiority around their nutrition and intolerance of other people's food behaviors and beliefs. And that's really in that same vein of that other one. Sometimes I will feel superior. I do. But I try not to stay there. I try not to let it get negative. I'm trying to look at people and try to see if I could lift up virtue in their life, not vices and stuff like that. I want to say I'm intolerant of other people's food behaviors and beliefs, but it gets difficult when there's the complaining and then the lack of capability to function and to like support one's own life is where it gets to me. Like, I'm quite live and let live, but when your rights start taking away my rights because I have to pay for your bad choices, like, at least give me a choice to do that, if that didn't sound too mean. High levels of perfectionism. Yeah, I mean, I think people that go on diets all should wrestle with that perfectionism or legalism, at least for a time. Like, be serious about what you're doing and go for it. And I don't being perfect is not obtainable anyway. What are we looking for instead of perfect? Progress. We're looking for progress. But yeah, go at it full speed. Spending hours per day thinking about what food might be served at an upcoming event. I gotta laugh at that one because how often do you look on carnivore channels or videos and different things and people are like, or like on Facebook is like, oh, I'm worried about this event I'm going to. I'm worried about this event. What am I going to eat? Hey, this is what I prepare when I go on a trip. Hey, this is what I eat when I go on a trip. I've done it myself. I've showed you guys. I've talked about it. But it's spending hours per day thinking about it. You know you can go without food for quite a while and be just fine. Yeah, I mean, I know a guy that came to Earth about 2,000 years ago that went 40 days and 40 nights without food. Yeah, you could go a day, an hour. But I think it is wise to think about some of those things sometimes. A lot of this seems like things that just get out of order and obsessive, like, of course. Showing high levels of distress when safe or healthy foods aren't available. I mean, the first thing that pops in my mind is people in a hospital. Because I literally just saw something about this, like, I'm in the hospital and all the food they're giving me is trash. There's like no good food. It's like Jello and these things. It's like, yeah, I would be a little distressed in that moment, especially if you're in the hospital and you can't leave. But I'm not sure I've experienced high levels of distress because I could just pre-eat some steak before I go anywhere for the most part, or I can fast. That hasn't been a huge problem for me, honestly. Obsessive following of food and healthy lifestyle blogs on social media. Hey, if this is you, please click subscribe to this channel because I talk about family, my faith, my family, and food, and some fitness. Shameless plug. Body image concerns may or may not be present. Okay, so there you go. Psychosocial impairments in different areas of life. And yeah, I'm not exactly sure what that means. I would just say mental struggles in different areas of life when it comes to food and healthy food and being healthy. Anorexia nervosa. The nervosa, it's about being nervous about stuff. It's worrying about stuff. And Jesus said not to worry about stuff. Don't worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow has enough worrying of its own. But you can plan ahead. Yeah. I don't know. You got to let me know what you think about this. Like, part of me just thinks it's ridiculous, and part of me is like, well, some of that is a little closer to home than I like. But I don't think I have this, or actually no one has this, because it's just a made-up thing. But it's something that someone characterized or saw something and put these criteria on it, and it says it may or may not be a problem for some people. Maybe the guy that came up with this just had a feeling of superiority himself and wanted to look down on people that were trying to be healthy. I don't know. Tell me what you think. All right. You got any words or videos you want me to look at? Let me know. They'll be out. Your mom.